All right, elementary artists, in this video I am going to kind of guide you as to how you could make a cute polar bear. And then we can put this, we're going to cut it out and put it on top of another paper, either a solid piece of paper, or if you painted a beautiful background, we'll be putting this polar bear on top of that background. So we're going to need a black oil pastel, a white paper, and a tissue for smudging and smearing. To get started, this paper is the same size as your background paper. So thinking, how much of your background do you want to cover up? Maybe about a third or a half of it would be all right. We still want to see some of that background, but we also want the bear to be big enough that it's a prominent part of your artwork. I'm going to start by making like an upside down letter U, or a half oval, kind of a squarish, curved, squared off half oval. So if you were starting upside down, that might be easier for you to make a U, the letter U, or it's like a rainbow arch. That's the whole bear's body. So now we're going to make the head, an oval or a circle for the bear's head. I am leaving some room between where I put that circle and the outside of his body so that I can add some ears. So let's do that now. The ears are half circles that connect to the head where the top and the side meet. I'll put little insides of the ears, and then for the snout, it's kind of like a raindrop shape that's a little bit wider at the top. So getting bigger at the bottom, coming up. If yours is a triangle, that's fine. If it's a rectangle, that's fine. And then the nose is a triangle inside of this shape. So this is its snout. So the nose is a triangle with the tip pointing down. And then giving him a face. So if you want him to be smiling, maybe curve up there, right? Oh, there we go. We're gonna give him some eyes. So somewhere between the snout and where the ear is, kind of finding a halfway point there and giving our polar bear some round or oval eyes. All right, he's starting to come along. And now I need mine pretty wide. He's a big, well-eating polar bear, right? I just realized he's a bit wider than he is tall, and that's kind of fun. Yours might be taller than it is wide. If I thought it was too wide, I'm going to be cutting this out, so I could just make that side a little bit skinnier, and that wouldn't mess anything up because this would get cut off. So, and I do think I want him to be a little bit thinner. Here we go. Yep, that's going to be my new line on that side and my new line on this side. So I just put him on a diet and made him skinnier. There we go. Now, the only thing we have left to do, you might want to leave yours just like this. I think it looks a little bit more like fur, and it breaks up this very stark black and gray look that we have, black and white look, by smudging and smearing some of the oil pastels. So I'm going to go over this bottom line a little bit heavier so there's more oil there, more pastel to smudge. All right, so using my tissue, and I've already made one, yours will be clean to start with, but once you start using it, you want to kind of keep folding it to get a clean area. And then I'm just going to pull from the outside towards the inside. I could just do this on one side of my polar bear, and that would almost give him like a shadow side. Or you could do it all over if you like the effect. So just, he looks furry. There's a little more transition between the white and the black now. I am going to go ahead and mostly do the left side. So I'm picking a side, the left side of things. Now, I can do it here too. But also the underneath of things. So under his belly, there might be a shadow. I'm running out of clean napkin space, but I don't want it to get too muddied or dirty looking. So I'm not just smudging this all over. I'm being thoughtful. Where am I pulling and smudging and smearing to? And I could leave it just like that, or I could go ahead and underneath the chin. Just on this one side of the face. The bottom of my chin. I think that looks pretty good. I am noticing I liked the smudged areas a little bit better myself than the other areas. So I'm not going to do it as dramatically, but I'm still just going to smudge this a tiny bit on this side, as I'm going more directly over the line so that it just comes a little bit inside. It softens the black a little bit. It softens the transition between the black and the white. I do not want to smudge or smear the eyes, right? Our eyes are not furry. We don't need them to look furry. Our eyes are, and the polar bear's eyes are a pretty stark black. All right, so this guy, he is ready for the next step, which is cutting him out and putting him onto my background paper. We want to be careful when we are gluing him because I'm going to try and cut right on the outside of that black line that I want to keep. I don't want to see the white part, so right on that black line. Remember, those were mistakes, so I'm cutting those off, or kind of just where I changed my mind. Now, if I were to rub my hand over this when I glued it down, that would mess it up. So he looks pretty good right there. I wouldn't want to put him in the middle. He would be like cut off and floating. So it's kind of like a snapshot, like I took a camera picture of him, and this is the space around him, and this is where the edge of the camera caught him. So that will be our polar bear. So what you're going to do is put the glue around the edges, put a big X in the middle, stick it down gently, but then flip it over and rub on the back of your background paper to get it to stick. You have to imagine that I put the glue stick on there because I don't have it with me right here. So imagining, and then that way I didn't smudge or smear my polar bear, but I did get him glued to the background. All right, I cannot wait to see your amazing creations.